Those who take to the water's edge here today are treading where dinosaurs once left their mark. This is the Jurassic coast. But before dinosaurs, there were forgotten creatures with big feet. They were rauisuchians. Jo Erlam is an author who loves writing for children. Today, she's been given special permission to bring something very heavy from Sidmouth Museum to show Bertie and his mum Emma.
So this is the footprint, 240 million years old.
It was discovered right here in 2013 by an expert with knowledge of fossils. Today, climate change, overconsumption and the loss of nature are big ideas which Jo has woven into the story of a boy called Colin, who finds a footprint left by Rosa, a name she chose for her rauisuchian because it reminded her of her mum, Rosemary.
The story is actually inspired by some walks I did with my dad when I was about 9 years old, like Colin is in the book. Up on Dartmoor, walked a long way from the car to a beautiful spot, and then we came across rubbish that had been dropped there, and I just remember saying to Dad, why would anybody do this? And my dad's answer was, that's how some people are, that they don't look after the world around them. But he said to me, you don't have to be like that. You don't have to be somebody who drops rubbish. You know, you can look after the world. And that's essentially what the story says. Rosa, the rauisuchian, is having a walk and chatting to her father, Reggie, and they come across waste in their world 240 million years ago, where trees have been stripped bare, where there are half-chewed bones of other animals left around. And they have that same kind of conversation about how you can choose to treat the planet in a positive way.
Colin pushed the last puddle away, feeling a shiver of excitement.
The book strikes a chord with Bertie, who's about the same age as Colin.
Matching marks set deep within the sandstone.
Bertie's mum, Emma, thinks the story of Rosa's footprint has a message for all of us.
What creature had walked where he was now? What had it been like?
The boy in the book also wants to protect the environment, and he's seeing on the beach there's a load of litter, and then we find out who the footprint belongs to, and that's Rosa. And we find that actually Rosa, in her time, she also wants to protect the beautiful environment around her.
The story of Rosa, Reggie and Colin has been beautifully illustrated by Mark Hannon.
Worked with Jo for a few books now. This one for about 3 months. The way that we actually put that book together, Jo would send me the words and I'd start drawing the pictures. So I start with scribbles. I tried to build up a character for Colin, say, and how to develop a sort of fairly friendly face for a fairly ugly looking, crocodile looking dinosaur. Trying to get the character is the tricky bit. So having done that, you then transcribe from the pencil to the colour. So basically the computers used to colour the illustrations. Draw them by hand, scan them in, and I colour them on the computer. And when this is done, I then go across the final page layout. I particularly enjoyed working on this book because I think the concept, raising awareness of the planet for children, is a vital thing, especially now off the back of the pandemic. And we've tried to capture the love of the planet with the educational value and not make it too preachy, not make it too serious, and just have fun with a nice story. And I think Jo's achieved that through her words, and hopefully I've managed to support her words with some fun illustrations.
But this story is based on hard facts. Dr. Rob Coram is the paleontologist whose work informed Jo's story.
We know that the Sidmouth rocks were deposited in vast deserts almost 250 million years ago, which was long before the first mammals, birds, flowers, or even dinosaurs. But there were primitive reptiles around then, and we know that these prints were actually produced by ancient ancestors of crocodiles. These actually looked rather like dinosaurs, possibly even a little bit like that. And they could reach 5 metres in length, and they were ferocious predators. And the rocks at Sidmouth provide a very rare glimpse into their daily lives as they went about in search of food or water.
The story of Rosa is designed to inspire children to take part in a writing competition about some of the environmental issues we face today. In the Fab Lab at Exeter Central Library, Marcus Brown scanned the rauisuchian footprint into a 3D printer to create miniature copies. They're made of cornstarch, not plastic, and they'll be used as prizes in the competition.
We design things, we scan things, we print them for people like Joe. Here's a small example that we've printed out. Joe's got a much larger replica that she's going to be using for different events and taking into schools. But we're making some mini versions like this, and we've got some bigger ones printing at the moment for prizes of her competition, but also to be able to show people and for people to keep them.
Tracy and Simon West have also been working with Joe because they're passionate about saving what remains of our forests. They've been working in Africa with local people to help them restore the forest. Their charity is being promoted in the book.
I think it's a super idea, the way she's turned thinking about taking care of our world through to doing something pretty simple on the beach, something we should all be doing if we're near the beaches for sure.
Rosa's footprint is a tale of life from prehistory, but its message is for today.
With climate change, loss of species, habitat, the importance of biodiversity, that I could use this footprint as a way of trying to show basically the impact that we leave. Much more than a single footprint on the planet, and that was what really struck me when I saw this in the museum. 240 million years old. I just thought I had to write a story about it.